The Southern Alberta Art Gallery's latest exhibition, Sovereign, is running until June 15th. Curator Wanda Nanabush joins us to tell us all about the exhibition. So if someone comes to check out the exhibition, what will they see?
The works in the show are everything from photography to media installations to video works. And emotionally, I think it's runs everything from shocking to humorous to hard-hitting to deeply moving. So I think it's got the gamut in there.
Interesting. And the subject matter, it does say that some of the subject matter is fairly serious. So what kind of pieces were the artists here? It's a group exhibition. What were they trying to touch on? What are they trying to get the viewer to take away from the exhibition?
I can't speak to each artist, but in terms of the show, I was looking at artists who are influenced by turn-of-the-century performing Indians. So we look at them as our artistic ancestors in a sense. People like Mangwadas, who went to Europe and performed on European stages for King Philip. And when he was there, he actually wrote a book of his travels and all that kind of stuff. And I see they're often talked about as if they were performing stereotypes, what non-native people would see Indians as, like war dances and all that kind of stuff. But really, I wanted them to be seen more as acts of resistance, and that they got to travel, they made some money, they learned about the world. There's an instance in the States where a troupe went into one of the Wild West shows, and there's work here that's influenced by the Wild West shows. And that troupe actually got released from jail to go travel the world for 2 years. And the way that Buffalo Bill was able to get that to happen is he convinced the government that he would civilize them while they were on tour. So it's an interesting contradiction because they're being civilized while they're performing their culture on stage. At a time when it was banned. So even in their home territories, they weren't allowed to do their own dances, weren't allowed to do their ceremonies. So I think for me, the show is also about the power of our culture and how it's still alive and well, and part of it is all the artists that have kept that going too.
So not only will you see beautiful pieces of art, a little bit of history and a little bit of education here for the viewer.
Absolutely, yeah, there's a lot of education. Stuff on residential schools, there's stuff on colonial policy. Yeah, so there's a lot in here.
What was the process for you as the curator picking these pieces? Was it a fairly long process?
Yeah, it was sort of influenced by particular artists. So I'd have a conversation with Rebecca about her piece, Rebecca Belmore, and she was influenced by reading this history book on this Mi'kmaq guy who was captured in the 1500s and taken to Europe to perform in somebody's garden. So he would shoot deer, kill deer, skin deer, eat deer for wealthy Victorians. And one time he defecated in front of everyone, and she says that was the beginning of Indigenous performance art. So that was kind of the beginning of the show too. Was looking at what are these acts of resistance and what are people doing? How do they play with confinement, right? So if you are captured, what is your agency in that situation?
That is absolutely fascinating. Lots to check out here. There's beautiful pieces. Thank you so much, Wanda, for joining us. We really appreciate it.
No problem. Hope you come to see the show.
Absolutely. Please come check it out. It is Sovereign, running at the Southern Alberta Art Gallery until June 15th.